Hi friends, welcome back to my garden. Today I am going to try to plant as many plants as I can from the haul that I got from Lowe's. Wish me luck. The weather is starting to get kind of windy and very cloudy, so it's been off and on rain all week. So I'm hoping I can get some plants done today. Thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Ellie and welcome. If you've been following me, you know I have children and you know that I share my yard with them. So they love playing soccer in the backyard, and a lot of the times the ball flies into my plants and sometimes it breaks the stems. The stem I looked at wasn't necessarily broken, but they had fallen over. So I'm trying to stake them up, and I'm going to be adding about 3 inches of soil to kind of help them be more stable. So let's talk about the stock flower. I absolutely am a huge fan of stock. These are beautiful long stem flowers, great as a cut flower. In my warmer area, I live in kind of Northern California, zone 9B, and they are considered a biannual, or a short-lived perennial. If you're new to gardening, what does biannual plant mean? It means that it can take up to 2 years to complete its biological life cycle. So during the first year, it primarily just grows roots, it grows stems, a lot of green leaves, but it doesn't necessarily give you flowers the first year. It will give you flowers the second year. Hardiness zones 7 through 10, it likes to be in full sun to part shade. They ideally like morning sun with some afternoon shade. I've planted stock in this garden bed here that gets morning sun, but a lot of shade in the afternoon, and it seems to be liking this spot. I also have some growing in pots, which you can grow. They grow very nice in pots, and that one I have it in full sun. It does kind of die down a bit during my summer months because it gets super hot where I live. So this is a plant that's great for spring blooms and for fall blooms. It will bloom again in the fall for you. If you live in colder weather under zone 7, you would treat this plant as an annual. I still think that it is a great plant, great as a cut flower. Bring it in the house. If you want it to go to seed, you want to make sure that that you kind of leave it alone, let it completely die off. It will grow these little green pods that kind of beautifully change color until it dries off. And then once it's completely dry, then you want to harvest your seeds. And just as a reminder for new gardeners that don't know what annual means, annuals mean that they are short-lived. They are only around for the season. They will not rebloom or come back again after the season's over. So it's safe to kind of pull them out, get rid of them. Some stock flower varieties can have a scent, kind of a cloves, cinnamon, and vanilla scent, and also kind of with a peppery or spicy note. An interesting fact is that the flowers are edible. I would still do some research to find which variety would be best for consumption if you plan to do so. Another thing I found was that they are native to Mediterranean coast, which for my climate, I love the Mediterranean type of gardening. It is the best for my area. So these are my Casablanca lilies, I believe, that are starting to come up again. Last year, I think I only got 1 flower because my kid kept on ripping the flowers off. So hopefully this year I get more Casablancas and more. I think those are also Casablancas growing there too. Cleaned up half of this area. I took out all those, which I mostly weeds. And I've planted a couple of my stock. I'm gonna plant this purple one in between here. added about a couple of inches. I try to add about 3 more inches to this bed of this organic soil here. So I would love to know if I have convinced you to grow some stock. Please let me know in the comments. So I've decided I'm gonna plant my anemone here because it has some white and some purple, and I think it would look good in this space. Anemone is a great plant to have. I use it as a perennial in my warmer zone, and it blooms in the fall, but mostly blooms in the springtime for me. During my summer hot months, it does die out completely. I have left them in the ground and they come back again in the fall. They come in a variety of colors and it's great as a cut flower. Now, I always want to break up some of these roots. Before I plant it in. A lot of the times you can find the anemones at your local stores as corms. Corms are like these octopus shaped type of bulbs. You want to soak them. If you are getting them from corms, you want to soak them in lukewarm water for a few hours to soften them up, and they kind of plump up a little bit. And then you want to plant them in the ground or in pots. This is also a great one to plant in pots. You want to plant the corms with the octopus legs facing down, and you want to put them about 3 inches deep in the soil. I like to think as anemones as a low maintenance plant because you do not need to fertilize them. They will bloom very nicely on their own. The one thing I would recommend is to deadhead them. You do want to cut them, and that will create more energy to create more stems and new blooms. Now I have decided I'm also going to plant my ranunculus in here. Not all of them, but a couple. So I have this really pretty white. I can show here. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm gonna plant it in this big space here and see how it does. I've tried to grow ranunculus before and it didn't last. I had it in full sun and I got it kind of towards the end of the season, so I think that's why it didn't do very well, because it was the end of the season and it was just time for it to hibernate. Ranunculus is a beautiful flower. It can have long stems, great as a cut flower to bring in your home. You see them a lot in bouquets. Let's see how it does here. And then again, these are all pretty root bound. They've been in the nursery for quite a while, right? So you just kind of want to open up those roots. Just remember, those roots at the bottom, those are old roots. So don't be afraid to ruffle them up and even cut some of them off just to kind of let for new roots to kind of grow out. Much like the anemones, they start off as corms. If you get them as corms, you want to soak them as well. Let them absorb the water for about 4 to 6 hours. This helps to rehydrate them for the growing season. So ranunculus also likes to be in full sun, but we get super hot sun. And so I'm hoping it will like this spot and doesn't burn on me. Another plant here, I think this is a marigold growing back here. I didn't plant it, but the leaves kind of look like a marigold, so I'm leaving it to see what perspires and what grows from there. And then this is my salvia, and it's starting to bloom again. The kids have broken it with the soccer ball, so hoping that this doesn't get too badly damaged. If you live in colder climates like zone 4 through 7, your corms most likely do not survive the winter and therefore should be treated as annuals, meaning it's just a temporary flower. Other one I want to plant this purplish magenta color one, not the red. So I'm going to take it out of the pot and see if I can divide it. So you want to see here, if I can, is where the two plants separate, right? So that's what I want to cut through. So I divided this plant with my little shovel here. And you could see these are tubers. This is new plant starting to come out. So just wanted to kind of show that. Fall is the best time to grow them, especially if you are in zones 9 through 10. You want to plant them sometime by like October, November. Nice fall planting to get blooms as early as like mid-December through early spring. For zones 8 through 10, this plant is considered a perennial, meaning it will rebloom on its own again. So my plan is to leave them in the ground and hopefully I get new blooms in the fall, or if not next spring as well. I would treat Ranunculus as a poisonous flower. It is harmful to pets, and many varieties can be harmful to humans if ingested. It can cause a lot of, really bad side effects. So I would be cautious. So I'm really bummed. I just broke this nice long stem off. So I'm gonna put this inside in a vase. So today I was able to plant these plants right here. I lifted these up because they were kind of falling everywhere from the kids. And I'm sure it will continue to happen. So I kind of staked them. I might, not right now, I don't think I have time before it starts to rain, but I'm thinking I might tie them a little bit to the stakes here, just to kind of get them more upright again. But I am very excited. This one, I absolutely love the color of this like magenta color. I think it will look good with this white and some more stock, white and purple stock, and this little white and purple anemone. So that is it for today. Looks like it's gonna want to rain right now, so I am done. I didn't do as much planting as I wanted to, but I'll try again tomorrow to finish planting my plants. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for staying here with me, and if you liked it, please hit a like or subscribe to my channel. I would so greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you next time. Happy gardening. Bye.